Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Matrix Fight Night 13. Let's go to the next fight, which is again going to be a war between Djordje Stojanovic and Sahil Rana in the bantamweight division.
Stojanovic, who holds a professional record of 6 wins, and now we have Jared.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the cage, Djordje Stojanovic!
देवियों और सज्जनों, चलते हैं आज की पहली इंटरनेशनल फाइट की तरफ। केज की तरफ अपना रुख करते हुए सर्बिया के जॉर्जी स्टोयानोविच। ये पहली बार एमएफएन में नहीं खेल रहे हैं। इनको आपने देखा होगा पिछले 2 एमएफएन में। एमएफएन आई थिंक 9 में इन्होंने किया संजीत का सामना और 10 में इन्होंने खेला पुण्यजीत लिंगारू से, बट काफ़ी अनफॉर्चुनेट रहे। अभी तक ये जीते नहीं हैं, बट ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा फैन फेवरेट है।
Absolutely. Stojanovic, he used to be on a 5-fight winning streak until he unfortunately started picking up 3 losses. One of them being against today's headliner, Sanjeev Budwar. Another great thing about Stojanovic is that he is a Class A finisher. 4 out of 6 wins of his have been via round 1 stoppages.
Well, yes, at only at 22 years of age and a jiu-jitsu, a 10th planet jiu-jitsu blue belt, this guy is the real deal. And tonight, he's here to take over. He's promised us that he will be walking home with his first MFN victory.
You know, he's a very intense fighter, and coming up from that 10th planet camp led by Eddie Bravo, they have very different jiu-jitsu techniques. It's very sleek, it's very ideally suited for mixed martial arts. There's competition jiu-jitsu and then there's MMA jiu-jitsu. Just like there's MMA striking, there's MMA wrestling. So his style of jiu-jitsu is so well suited for mixed martial arts and for the modern combat system. It's going to be very interesting to see what changes he's made over time. His keys to victory, according to me, he needs to attack fast, quickly, get in there soon, take this fight to the ground. But even though he's such a good striker, his striking is ever improving. He's got a lot of skills in that department. And first and foremost, he needs to set up the distance. His improved striking is supported by those beautiful leg kicks that he lands. But more important, well, first and foremost, like I said, sorry to repeat myself, he needs to dictate the pace of this fight.
Absolutely, and defend the knees was written in one of his keys to victory, which is because of his last fight against Punyajit, where he took a knee to the groin, and because of which he was not able to continue the fight.
और इसलिए भी क्योंकि इनके opponent है Sahil Rana, who's very skilled, especially with the knees. Over to Jared.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage, Sahil Rana!
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. night. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end.
Here we go to the tail of the tape. Both these men so young, just 22 and 24 years of age. Huge height difference, a height advantage for Sahil Rana. Both weighed in approximately the same weight, and it's going to be a scrap of epic proportions according to Mr. Rahul here. Let's quickly go inside the cage with Jared Khan.
Ladies and gentlemen, first we introduce the blue corner. His professional record, 6 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He weighed in at 61 kilograms, fighting out of Djordje Stojanovic fighting team, representing Serbia. Make some noise for the Serbian Wolf, Djordje Stojanovic! And his opponent fighting out the red corner. His professional record, 7 wins, 1 loss. He weighed in at 61.65 kilograms, fighting out of Suma Fight Club, representing India. Make some noise for Sahil Rana! Ladies and gentlemen, as the action begins, the referee for the fight, Herb Dean.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. I'm gonna keep it clean. Touch gloves, let's do it.
Herb Dean, bad news for you. You were not audible to the people because the crowd is going absolutely insane.
It's absolutely bananas, and we're at a very interesting point. We're at the middle of the card. We have started hitting the main card, so to speak. We've got 5 fights remaining after this. We're already on the 7th fight of the evening, I think, and the crowd has just come alive, and you can see that the MMA fans are improving. Their knowledge has improved so much. People were cheering guard passes and submission attempts as opposed to, a couple of years ago when they had no idea what was going on.
Was just cheering for the punches.
Yeah, was waiting for the knockouts. Djordje Stojanovic, though, kick-heavy attack, as he proved in his earlier fights, is going to be looking to establish the same range. He's going to set it up with those kicks. More importantly, he needs to stay patient.
That's why Stojanovic immediately taking the center of the octagon against Rana. Serbia versus India.
रेफरी हर्ब डीन फाइट को रोकते हुए ऐसा लग रहा है कि यहाँ पे illegal shot था साहिल राणा को.
Let's see if we can get a replay of that, because a lot of illegal shots happening today. It's the same thing. It's the thing with the inside leg kick. The minute somebody lands an inside, oh no, that was straight on the money. That didn't hit the thigh, it hit straight. But it's inadvertent. It was not meant to. It was meant to go to the inside of the thigh. And what happens is that the foot slides up the thigh and hits the cup, which is what results in hurt. It's not straight to the thigh.
अर्जुन, कल जो फेस ऑफ थे वहां पे इन दोनों का बहुत ही इंटेंस फेस ऑफ हुआ. दोनों ने एक अल्फाज नहीं बोला, बस आंखों ही आंखों में बातें करते रहे और बोलते रहे कि केज में उतरेंगे तो दिखाएंगे किसमें कितना है दम. या तो होगा विजय हिंदुस्तान या फिर सर्बिया.
आंखों ही आंखों knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. You girls are so brilliant.
Yeah, Rahul is a poet when he's on the mic in Hindi.
No, I feel like I cannot speak Hindi anymore.
I thought that I would be speaking a bit in Hindi, but now that I'm with...
Very nice. No, that was a slip. It was a slip. Both fighters tried to kick at the same moment, but good kick by Stojanovic. And this lapse in concentration and the slip has caused Stojanovic to get straight into guard now, which is an advantageous position for him on the ground.
Well, he's on the top, and another thing to note, Tane and Arjun, is that Sahil has been recovering from a right hand injury. So
that's important to know. We will see. We keep an eye out to see how much it affects him. But right now, Stojanovic doing a very, very good job. It's funny, he turned him away from the cage, where he could have used him to push him up against the cage and land some ground and pound. But he's probably working towards a transition here of some sort. Passes got good butterflies by
scramble.
Very good scramble. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done by Sahil Rana. But look at this omoplata attempt by the Serbian. He tried to put his right leg over the shoulder.
That's the beauty of 10th planet. A lot of gogo platas, a lot of omoplata.
I love the omoplata, and that's why when we talk about Stojanovic, it's jiu-jitsu suited to MMA. It's not competition jiu-jitsu just necessarily, and he's such a master at applying that with the overall game of wrestling, grappling, and striking. Now let's see, it'll be interesting to see what kind of guard he holds. He's got butterflies on the right hand side. He can elevate his hips and look to turn him, but he doesn't have an underhook on the right hand side of Sahil Rana. So far, Rana doing a very good job of staying slightly postured up. In T position here, he's in a look to land some ground pound, but good control on the right hand side by Stojanovic. He's got his Sahil Rana's left hand trapped there.
reversal की.
Djordje's got butterflies here in this position. He's holding him very well. Look at the confidence in his face. He's not panicking at all. Staying patient here. And referee Herb though stepping in and saying, "You got to get the action moving." Oh, very nicely done.
Beautiful shots there from Sahil Rana, which draw the crowd.
I think Sahil Rana heard Herb saying, "Pick up the pace," and he certainly did pick it up.
Yes, boss.
जैसे ही हर्ब ने बोला guys थोड़ा एक्शन दिखाओ, साहिल राणा ने वहाँ छोड़े कुछ पंचेस.
Good position to be in here, but Djordje needs to get out of here. Djordje needs to get out of this position immediately because he's not doing. There you go. Now he's trying to dive underneath the leg. Now this is a very bad position here. His arm is trapped on the other side. Now he needs to try and hold on to this position here. Oh, and nice reversal by Djordje.
Stojanovic back on top.
Very, very nice. And looking for the underhook on the right hand side. You can see the instructions, you can hear the instructions from Anshul Jubilee to his teammate. The side that he holds the underhook is the side he has to turn. And very good advice there, because the minute he gets the underhook on the right hand side, he scoots his hips to the left. But right now he's got a body triangle from the bottom. He's looking to lock up his limbs, and that's a very defensive position.
मात्र 30 सेकंड इस राउंड में.
20 seconds remaining in this round, like the whole said a minute ago. A lot of action in all the fights here.
Absolutely, we haven't had a single fight that was actionless. And as we said, it's only on Matrix Fight Night. Down to the last 10 seconds of the round.
You can see the crowd cheering here.
Man, I'm so impressed by this crowd because look at the up kicks. He landed a slight up kick on Djordje, but man, both these guys are so tough. What a start to this wonderful, wonderful competition here. Bantamweight division, Sahil Rana and Djordje Stojanovic. Just incredible.
Gentlemen, I'm confused. What do you all have to say about the first round? Who would you all give it to?
Oh no, don't ask me. Don't ever ask me, but take a look at the
Arjun is
replay
not the
here.
judge.
Let's look at the action replay.
Let's look at it. Djordje Stojanovic took his chances. That was a slip by Sahil Rana, which led to the takedown, but Djordje took complete advantage of it, turned it around, but eventually Rana turned across, spun over, and used beautiful transitions to get the top position and landed some good shots on the top here. Maintained control for the majority of the round, but the constant scrambling between these two guys will make it very difficult to score because you don't know how judges score the fight. He was looking for a straight knee bar there. That's kind of incredible.
Well, the first round was all about the scrambles. Let's move on to the next round, and I'm sure it's going to be an exciting and an epic one. We have got Sahil Rana representing India in the red corner, taking on the Serbian Wolf, Djordje Stojanovic in the blue corner.
And now let's have a look at the unofficial strikes. Rana with a lot more head strikes, but Stojanovic capitalized very well on the body strikes. 36-8.
Even Stevens, boys, it's a great round. It'll be very difficult to score.
For you certainly, Arjun.
Round number 2, though, both boys stepping. Sahil Rana though takes the center of the cage immediately, giving a little bit more confidence. But if he wants to set up that 1 or 2, crowd screaming Sahil.
He's certainly got to get a lot of confidence from that.
It's certainly the fan favorite here.
You want to watch out for Stojanovic. He's got some very good low kicks, and he sets up that right hand just in time. Beautiful kick to the body. Beautiful kick to the body there. And Rana though had a couple of counter striking opportunities. Good, beautiful jab to the body. I'd like to see a lot more of that body-head combination that Anshul Jubilee is actually so famous for using.
A sharp in the leg
complete
kick.
and Anshul Jubilee is famous for using this
Very
combination.
nice right hand. Beautiful right hand on the top. Again the combination.
जॉर्जी को थोड़ा सा अंदर
Just missed with that big overhand right. But this is now there's a mistake that Djordje's making. He's standing flat-footed in front of him, and if he's looking to land, Rana has reached a point where he's starting to time those kicks. Nice left hook, stepping left hook, kick, but blocked, beautifully blocked by Djordje. But don't let that glove fool you, boys. That shin will go through the glove.
I should have very light gloves. Let that knock.
Very nice leg kick by Djordje.
You know, Djordje has been eating damage over here, but he's still charging onto the face of Sahil Rana.
Both these boys are so tough, and you know, it's both these guys are in each other's faces. The never back down attitude from these fighters here at MFN is just spectacular to watch. Beautiful right hand left hook combination. Oh, and you can see the striking advantage in the favor of Rana. Just missed with that knee, switches to a single.
Oh, what an excellent beautiful takedown there.
Sahil Rana on his feet, but he's got his hands clasped. Slam time, slam time, slam time. Boom,
And threw him down onto the mat.
look at the crowd, we can barely hear each other.
The crowd's cheering here for the Indian Sahil Rana in the red corner, who just scored a massive slam.
He scored a beautiful takedown here, but he needs to get to work for 2.5 minutes, and he's in a great position. He's right in front of his corner with giving him instructions from his team, and it's just it's interesting what he can do, because Stojanovic has got underhook on the left hand side. He's being defensive. He's got a butterfly on the right side, and
Punyajit giving commands to his teammate. Punyajit would certainly know a lot about Stoyanovic's fighting style, considering that he was his last opponent.
precisely why he's put in that position. The interesting part here is he needs to start becoming active, because Hercules is looking down on the action, and if he thinks that it's not active enough, it's not enough work being done, he will warn Rana immediately.
साहिल के कॉर्नर में है पुण्यजीत लिखारू और उनके रणनीति बताते हुए
I would like Rana to actually see if he can pass guard here, because that's a relatively loose guard position here. He can easily slide his foot up, but I like the way Stojanovic is moving. He's moving with him, and despite that looking like a loose open guard, you can see Stojanovic uses it for setup. Very nice, good shot to the body there. The action happened right in front of us.
Well, now Sahil also does have a free right hand. Do you think he can capitalize on that, Arjun?
No, because there's also a function of posture and control and position. By using that hand, Stojanovic it takes a second to scramble out, and you can lose position. So what Rana is doing is actually very intelligent. Now he's got a hold of that head. That's guillotine. Oh, big knee. And very smartly, Djordje puts his hands down, because it's illegal to land knees to down the opponent. Nice shots to the body there. Djordje's hurt. But Djordje very smartly stood in that position, but he aimed that knee. Doing a very good job. See that knee did some damage. Beautiful deep kick. Nice. Beautiful left hook there. But left hook by Sahil Rana as well.
मात्र 15 सेकंड इस राउंड में बहुत ही बेहतरीन राउंड रहा है और साहिल राना की रणनीति यही थी कि जॉर्जी को अपने
No, that doesn't count. Taking down after the bell, it does not count.
It is definitely not going to be counted as a takedown. But what's going to be counted are those amazing strikes that were landed by Sahil Rana in round 2.
Let's take a look at some of the replays to see his handiwork. That was the start. Djordje just trying to close the distance with some wild strikes, trying to step in. But I love the fact that he throws that inside leg kick over and over again. Nice head kick landed by Rana, then landed a nice left hook. Controlled the pace. I would certainly say he had the advantage in the striking. And look for that knee over and over again. He missed that knee earlier there, but gets the takedown. This was the slam that got the crowd up in arms and got us excited as well. But I think this was the end, towards the end, after that knee that landed on Djordje, which caused him to back off a little bit. And what a chin on both these men.
And you know, Rana has been doing very well on the counters. Whether you look at the takedown, whether you look at his right hands, he has done beautifully on the counter, because Djordje has been very aggressive in round 2. And that is exactly where Sahil Rana has capitalized.
No, Sahil Rana is a very good counter striker. He's listening. What's important that he's listening to his counter. Look at the accuracy of Sahil Rana. 69% accuracy in his strikes, couple of good hard shots, and he landed a total of 29 strikes.
But you know, it would be unfair to say that none of them were critical strikes because there were some big shots there on Djordje Stojanovic. Herb Dean cleaning up Sahil.
I wonder why Herb Dean is wiping off Sahil Rana there a second ago because, well, I'll tell you that there are some of the veterans in the sport can take a couple of advantages.
With the body being dry.
I don't want to say something here, but I will tell. It's you know, a lot of fighters sometimes can use the Vaseline of their faces to use to avoid cuts and rub it on their body against grapplers so that they can't get extreme hold of them. So these are just veteran tactics. They're not technically illegal, but it can happen.
Of course. And Arjun being one of the veteran commentators in Indian MMA.
Good sign of sportsmanship between both these men as they start the third round. That's what I love about the sport. There can be there can be so much animosity between men, and it is a brutal sport. But the amount of respect and sportsmanship I've seen in MMA, I've not seen in any other sport.
Absolutely, and you know, you can come with your game plans, but as the great Mike Tyson has said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face, and that is when you gain respect for the man who is punching you in the face.
Nice, beautiful calf kicks, good checks by Djordje. Nice left hook. Very nice left hook there a second ago. Again, a
beautiful combination of punches there by Sahil Rana.
But you can see that it's not hurting Djordje as such. But what Stojanovic really needs to understand is that these shots are scoring points, and these points will add up at the end of the fight.
Exactly. It's not only enough to absorb the strikes, you need to have strikes of your own to get the points.
Very nice low calf kick there. And swing and a miss by Sahil there. He's standing there. Beautiful overhand right by Stojanovic, but Stojanovic is using that overhand right to set up that takedown. And now look at that. He's letting Rana is stuck to the back of the fence. He needs to get his back off the cage. There you go. He needs to start taking the center again and put the pressure back on Stojanovic. Stojanovic ducking down, and Sahil Rana led that beautifully. He knew the takedown was coming. Rana now dipping down for the single there. He's got a hold of the single. He looked to kick out the other leg from underneath him. Over 3 minutes remaining in the third and final round, and a great technical battle that we've seen here. It's created absolutely that Stojanovic tried. This drags him down.
This has been a technical masterclass from both these guys.
Look at that. He's got a single leg. He's got a hook on the left hand side. Use the clinch. Use the single collar tie to drag him down. Just great technique shown by Rana here. And Stojanovic, they're trying to get out. Good reversal there.
You know what's good for Rana is the fact that he is, for a majority of this fight, has been next to his corner.
He's again falling down right on his back. Again on top here. It's a great position to be advantageously because he's leading up 2 rounds so far. He's had the better shots, he's had the better takedowns. And right now Djordje Stojanovic needs to go for broke because he can't be stuck in this position. He's got a unique guard here because he's not letting Rana move, but you know what? Rana is happy to be in this position. He's going to stay here. Slowly land some shots. He's got 2 minutes left in this round. He's going to land some short shots, keep peppering him, and come away with the decision win. And Djordje making no attempt to scramble, no attempt to push off the hips, try and get out of this position. And it's just, Charles in his corner, giving advice. And they seem to be a happy corner so far because they just relax him.
And this, of course, is going to be the mental toll because the entire crowd is cheering for Rana. And as you know,
but something like Djordje, that makes no difference because he's fought in MFN before, he's fought in India, he's fought with the promotion before. So there are a lot of fans for Djordje as well. And I think the fans that we see here in this arena tonight are not just specifically country fans. They are fans for the sport. Absolutely. And there's a great sense of sportsmanship even from the fans towards the fighters. But this is veteran strategy for Rana. He doesn't need to take chances. But Stojanovic has to realize that he's got just a minute left in this round and needs to start going for broke.
इस राउंड में भी साहिल राना सेम रणनीति अपनाते हुए अपने कॉर्नर की तरफ जॉर्जी को लेके गए हैं, ग्राउंड से डोमिनेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और मात्र 50 सेकंड बचे हैं इस राउंड में.
Djordje is running out of time and now look at the position that he's putting. Djordje and Rana is doing a great job Djordje looked to turn towards the fence, use his legs to walk away from the fence, but it's just Rana's base. It's so solid. He's not letting Djordje get up. He's not allowing him to press up enough. He's just unable to get out from under this position.
Absolutely, and he's got his right hand controlling the neck of Stojanovic.
बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से यहाँ पे पेस बना
Oh,
रखे
look
हैं।
at this guillotine, guillotine, guillotine. Did he tap? No, hang on a second. It's a guillotine attempt here. He's okay right now. He used the guillotine to get out of position. He's trying to use it, but Djordje seems quite all right here. He's got nothing to lose in the last 10 seconds of this round. As we come to a close of this awesome fight, a great technical battle between these warriors, and I think it's clear in the eyes of the judges who the victor is.
बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रदर्शन दोनों फाइटर्स का। ये थी MFN 13 की पहली इंटरनेशनल फाइट, जहां पे सर्बिया के जॉर्जी ने सामना किया इंडिया के साहिल राणा का।
Stojanovic sits up on the cage, showing his love for the fans that have come out here to support him against his fight with Sahil Rana. Sahil Rana is being congratulated by his corner.
Here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that fight. It was textbook after a point for Rana, who landed the better, cleaner shots. Djordje came back with some shots of his own, tried to land a few good hands there. A good right and left landed for Djordje earlier, but the minute he shot for a takedown, Sahil saw it coming, stuffed it cleanly, found a reversal of position, jockeyed for it, and got that. The minute he got the takedown, he was near his corner and settled down for the win. Beautiful win for him. And I think we just wait for the final result from the judges. But what a great contest, boys.
It was an absolutely amazing
Take a look.
contest with Stojanovic landing.
100 strikes landed by Rana as opposed to Stojanovic. And his power strikes were 35 to 21.
Yep. And also ground control time. Rana did manage to get under a minute of ground control time as compared to Stojanovic, who had absolutely no ground control time.
I think there's a little bit of error in terms of the control time shown, because a lot of time was in favor of Rana. But let's go inside the cage with Jared Carl for the final decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action here, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Abhishek scored the bout 29-28. Judge Manas and Darrell scored the bout 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision from the red corner, Sahil Rana!
Alright, wow! साहिल राणा ब्रोकन हाथ कई बार वैसे भी फाइट कर चुका है। साहिल राणा ऑलवेज अपनी आंखों में आग लेके आया है। आज ब्रदर, you had a brilliant, slow and steady win. Well done, buddy. Congratulations.
One day! So sorry, Salil. There's a long list of people to thank. First of all, I'll start with my coach, Coach Mike, Coach Alpha, Punyajit Bhai, our main man, Yusuf Wahabe, all the amazing coaches at Soma Fight Club, all the training partner, all my training partner at Mutual MMA. Thank you MFN, thank you Aisha ma'am, Krishna Shop, and more than anything, I would like to thank my family. Thank you, मेरे पापा यहाँ पे वहाँ पे ऑडियंस में खड़े हैं. So thank you पापा, thank you मम्मी, हर एक चीज़ के लिए. I come from trenches man, and if it was not for my parents, मैं कहीं नहीं होता. And मैं अपनी जीत हिमाचल के सभी लोगों को डेडिकेट करना चाहता हूँ, जिन लोगों ने अपने घर, अपनी फैमिली, अपनी ज़मीनें इस बार बारिश में खो दी. मैं जानता हूँ ये पूरी उम्र लग जाती है घर बनाने में, और इस तरह उसका चले जाना कितना मुश्किल हो सकता है. मुझे पता है मेरी फैमिली ने कितना सफ़र किया है. तो मैं डेडिकेट करना चाहता हूँ उन सभी हिमाचलियों के लिए, उन सभी पहाड़ियों के लिए जिन्होंने अपनी प्रॉपर्टी लॉस की, अपनी फैमिली लॉस की. एंड थैंक यू MFN. There's a long way to go, and damn it, first time I don't have a broken hand. Yeah!
Sahil Rana and of course Coach Mike, whose factory of champion fighters continues. This is it's been fantastic. The level has been raised in the last two fights. We've got some really exciting fights coming up. Over to the comms right now.